guys. So we are team number 6 and we are going to present on Green IT. Before anything else, let's try to understand what Green IT is all about.
Green IT is just one segment of a larger green tech or clean tech industry. Green IT is really a strategy in addition to a collection of technologies. It's not necessarily a market in and of itself. To date, it's been very nebulously defined and it's still relatively nascent in terms of deployment. There are a couple primary goals around Green IT. First, reducing energy usage and costs, increasing capacity and performance, all while maintaining power and cooling issues. One of the interesting metrics that's come about is compute performance per kilowatt is now something that is on the mind of IT managers. One of the secondary goals is to achieve social responsibility by reducing carbon footprint.
Nowadays, every organization kind of tries to talk Green IT. It's almost kind of become a buzzword of late. So let's try to talk to a few people and try to understand whether it's a reality or just a hype.
Green IT, hype or happening?
Green IT is happening just from the virtue of the lack of power and energy resources and utilization. In fact, it's a subject that we've been actually talking about as an industry since 2001 from a data center perspective. And it's now, I think, starting to really take a hold. And you can see some of the substantial things that are happening from the technology community in the savings of power and consumption in the way they're building products and services.
Green IT, I believe, is happening. My company's very green conscious right now. A lot of work across the industry on data center and power and so forth. So I believe that's happening.
Green IT, a little bit of hype, but it should be happening.
Green IT is happening. Depending what part of the world you go on, you see it a lot more in Europe already today, as well as in Japan and other countries. The manufacturers of equipment are more conscious now of power consumption, as well as the materials that go into this equipment, and also for the manufacturing of the devices itself. They are a lot more environmental conscious.
Green IT, hyper happening.
Depending on the organization, definitely happening. It's a values-based issue.
Okay guys, so today we have on our studios Mr. Steve Phillips, the CIO of Avnet Technology Incorporation. So sir, can you tell us how Green IT is being implemented in your company and the inherent benefits associated with it?
While the science supporting the case for climate change remains a controversial topic in many circles, corporate America fully supports Green IT. Why? Because being green makes good business sense as well as being environmentally friendly. An IT infrastructure that consumes less power means lower expenses, which means higher profits. The green we're talking about isn't just about protecting the environment, it's also about saving more dollar bills. Let's look at 3 examples where green initiatives are delivering real dollar benefits to IT departments today. The first is server virtualization. In the past, every software system had its own dedicated server or servers. This resulted in a lot of unused capacity most of the time, as the dedicated servers would use only a fraction of their computing power. Before Avnet's own virtualization efforts, our servers were using an average of 15% of their processing capacity, but consumed the same power as if they were running at 100% capacity. Virtualization allows multiple servers to be hosted on a single physical platform without a drop in performance. Having one server to do the work of many saves space, cooling, and power in the data center. With the right expertise, server virtualization is relatively straightforward to implement and can deliver a fast return on investment.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. So we have another expert who is now going to talk about the challenges associated with the current IT systems and tries to explain why Green IT is important.
All right, well, first it's important to take a look at the challenges. IT accounts for roughly 2% of CO2 emissions. To put this into perspective, it's roughly the same as the aviation industry. Big problem. IT energy usage is expected to double by 2012. Data centers consumed 180 billion kilowatt hours in 2007, and large data centers can demand as much as 70 kilowatts of electricity. Another issue is commercial electricity costs are rising year over year. Energy bills for IT data centers are starting to approach the cost of the infrastructure itself. Cooling alone can be between 50 to 100% of the power consumption. Roughly $30 billion in power and cooling was spent in 2007 industry-wide. 1 watt of application equates to roughly 27 watts of support. So you can see the costs associated with electricity, power usage around this problem. The availability of power is sometimes a problem as well, sometimes dictating where a data center can or cannot be located. Underutilized resources in the data center is a problem. If your resources are utilized under 10%, which is typical, this could equate to $140 billion in excess server capacity.
I think he was trying to hint at the importance of going green as far as information systems and information technology is concerned. I think it's a good time to wrap up. See ya.